Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, September 21st. Margaret here. We're going to talk today about shadow journaling. That way we all can know what it's all about. All righty. So, what is the shadow in our journaling? Shadow is your pseudo self, not your real self. It's lack of a better explanation, it's your false self, your alter ego, uh, the person you show to, let's see, you would, to coworkers, um, to people that aren't important to you. Um, your real self you show to your family, but your pseudo self, you don't so much. They don't see that. And that's a good thing because a lot of times your shadow is um, is your negative side. And we don't want that coming up all the time around family. So we try to keep, as I say, as a person, we always try to keep the shadow out of sight, um, not in the picture. So to our family, we show them good things. To other people, we show a different side. We show our friends and our coworkers. Oh, sorry about that. Completely different side. These yawns, they got to stop. But anyway, the shadow is the dark side of our personality. Consists mostly of primitive, negative human emotions and impulses. Usually that's things that we don't want to come forward necessarily. It's things like rage and envy and greed, selfishness, desire, striving for power, um, basically everything that goes against the Ten Commandments is going to be your shadow. So anything that has to do with harming other people, um, not telling the truth, um, keeping things to yourself, not sharing, and what we deny within ourselves. Like if we deny, um, let's say we deny that we're a liar, that we tell lies, non-truths, that sticks with you, sorry, and goes into your shadow. And we want it to stay in the shadow, but sometimes it doesn't. It sneaks out, comes forward, and, it becomes a part of the shadow. Things incompatible with our chosen conscious attitude about ourselves is also regulated to the dark side. And that would be things like, I know that I've had to deal with this a lot in my life, being overweight and or perceiving myself to be overweight. And therefore I would be mean to myself, not let myself eat that piece of cake or even a bite of cake. And I used to do that all the time, but I have since stopped doing that because I have determined that that is actually bad for me. Even though I'm a diabetic, if I want a piece of cake, I can have a piece of cake. I don't have to have the whole piece of cake. I can have a bite of it, and I'm okay. So I have stopped denying myself things that I enjoy, like cakes, cookies. Ooh, that reminds me. I promised that I would make some cookies today. So I will, after this, I will go make some chocolate chip, peanut butter chip cookies. They're going to be good. I made some yummy um, apple dumplings this morning. Those were good. Mom and Bo enjoyed them. I enjoyed them too. Okay, so we don't want to become a negative Nancy. So we try to keep the negatives down. And that's how journaling helps with that because when you're journaling you can actually see where you're positive and where you're negative and where you need to make the changes. Oh, sorry about that. The shadow archetype is the disowned self, the part of us we no longer claim to be our own. It can contain both negative and positive qualities. So the negative for me anyway would be that I'm overweight, that I'm always fat and can't get through the bathroom door. I had to live with that as a child. I would be taunted with those. Then there's the psychic material, thoughts, feelings, images, attitudes, motivations, judgments, impulses, both conscious and unconscious. We do that. We form sometimes negative thoughts come out when we don't want them to be negative thoughts. We have to make those changes, and we can do that. And journaling or shadow work, journaling, is a way to learn about yourself. I have learned in journaling in the past year, because I've been doing it for a year now, just about a year, and it makes a big difference. I, other than this stuff, which I think is my medication, makes me tired. So I think I need to change it. I am. I'm slowly going to be making changes in it. So that's a good thing. Getting rid of one of them. Um, and hope I don't have to put it back on. I'm doing half of it right now. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Life is trial and error. So there's two stages to shadow working. You get to know your shadow, my other half, my pseudo half, and I get to bring it to awareness, and I get to integrate my shadow within myself, make it a part of me that I can use when needed, but don't have to. And the goal of shadow work is harmonize the opposing tension within yourself, within your psyche, build consciousness, move toward psychic wholeness. And it's symbolized by returning home to oneself. And it feels good when you get home, when you get it all together and meshed together. It does. It feels so good. Oh, excuse me. I feel like I'm a whole but tired person. And I really don't know why I'm so tired. I really don't. I don't do a lot of stuff to make myself tired, other than wake up early and stay up late. But that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do. Now I'm back to my sweater. Can't wait to get this done. It's a long. Never do this again. I'll never, ever do this again. Tell somebody I'm going to make them a sweater. Oh, gosh, no. Unless I have a year to make it. I don't even think that'll do it, but it will. I'll have this done before April. I hope to have it done before Christmas. Hope I have it done by, yeah. I should have it done by before Halloween. Please. Just let me keep working at it. But this has been fun. This has been part of my recovery from the abuse and all the crap I went through with my ex-husband. And this helps me. This and taking Snickers for walks. Those are always fun things to do. I love taking her for a walk. Can't wait for it to cool off outside so we can go on longer walks. Because this heat just really wipes me out. But, okay, back to shadowing. So how is the shadow formed? How do you get a second part of you? How does that happen? You know, you're born, you come into this world, your parents raise you, you do things as a part of the family. But where does the shadow come in? How does the shadow become the shadow? Well, let's see. The forming of the shadow, we all have, it all consists of kindness, love, generosity versus anger, selfishness, and greed. So it's these 6 items, for lack of a better explanation, are fighting themselves. These emotions are part of a shared experience as humans. As we grow, traits associated with being good are acceptable, while those being bad are rejected. So we try to keep on the good side, but our pseudo self tends to hang on to the bad. And we all have the basic human needs of needing food, love, water, shelter, safety, security, and belonging. These are all biological and instinctual. We all go through it. We live through it. We enjoy it. When we express certain parts of ourselves as children, our environment would provide negative clues. Like, let's see, trying to read somebody else's writing. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This kind of makes sense. Um, so as children, we'd get mad, you know, we all did. We'd get angry, get sent to our rooms. Teachers would shame us in front of our classmates, which I think is wrong. And then after the teacher shames you, then your classmates mock you and turn into bullies. And these conflicts threaten one of our basic needs of safety. And then we adjust our behavior to gratify our needs and we adapt to the external world. So, you know, there you're showing you have your true self there. And then because somebody says or does something, then your pseudo self gets pissed off at that, and rightfully so. Even your solid self gets pissed off about it, but your solid self doesn't do anything. Your pseudo self is the one that gets pissed off, really pissed off, and causes a problem. So we have to, our solid self needs to work with our pseudo self so the pseudo self doesn't get so pissed off and angry that they cause a fight, because that's not necessary. So, where do our disowned parts go? The parts that we don't like of ourselves. First 20 years is said to be formative, and all the stuff we discouraged gets bundled and swept into the personal unconsciousness that stays with us even though we're not thinking about it, but it's in our subconscious minds. And there are things that will trigger it, pull it out of you. And so you have to be watchful and careful of that. And we can't eliminate the shadow because it stays with us all the time. It's like your dark sister or brother or whatever you want to call it, but it's there. It's a part of you. It's something that I think a lot of us didn't really realize or know, that there's two of us in here. inside. There's the side that you want everybody to see. And then there's a side that you only let special people see. And that's your true self. That's your solid self, is the one that you want everybody to see. Your pseudo self is for those that don't matter, that aren't important to you in your life. It would be like the cashier at Walmart, whatever, you know. You don't show them your true self. You show them your pseudo self. And if you want to learn more about this, look for a book, A Little Book of the Human Shadow by Robert Bly. And that would be something good for you, for um, anybody that wants to do this shadowing, to look for is look for that book. So let's go, Robert Bly. Get my glasses on here so I can. There we go. A Little Book on the Human Shadow. Let's see. Okay, I've got that, and I'll be able to put that in the chat so y'all can see that. That's going to be cool. Um, it's something that I think everybody should do, regardless of your age. Shadowing, it gets stuff off your chest. It's like, back in the day, back when I was um, before the teens, and we all had um, oh my gosh, I cannot even. Oh, we had diaries. We had diaries. Same idea as the shadow working. And I would I would do that before I went to bed. And I may start doing mine before I go to bed, and put in there what I'm thankful for, what has made me happy in the day. And that's always good to do. So I'm going to start shadowing before I go to bed and put it on a positive note. And I think that's something that we should all try to do. And we don't have to do it, but I think it's a good idea. It's a good way to get your thoughts out there and open your mind, and be ready to accept whatever comes next. And we will discuss more on shadowing on the next time. Talk to you later. Bye bye.